Laura died. For with Laura's horrible death, I had just begun to write Laura's story. I had him wait. And that was in Laura's apartment.
Mr. Lydecker?
Sit down, please. I suppose you're here about the Laura Hunt murder. Yesterday morning, after Laura's body was found, Laura had a dinner engagement with me.
The way Laura Hunt was murdered, were you in love with Laura Hunt?
Laura considered me the wisest, the wittiest.
I've just taken over the Laura Hunt case.
Cigarette?
Thanks.
Laura had had her for years. I'll never forget her scream when she saw Laura lying there.
Cash. Sometimes $1,500. Sometimes $1,700 at a clip.
What possible motive could I have for killing Laura?
Laura had not definitely made up her mind to marry him.
Okay, we'll have a look.
Perhaps I could help you?
The brutal swing. Read all about it.
One's got a fox fur out of me.
It was one of Laura's favorites. I'd been working on that advertising campaign with Laura.
Everything about Laura concerns me.
Stop implying that I had anything to do with Laura's death.
This was our table. Laura's and mine.
My name is Laura Hunt.
He's on the telephone.
Thank you.
Miss Laura Hunt. Laura had innate breeding. The way she listened was more eloquent than speech. And yet I knew Laura would never betray anyone. It was Jacoby. I did it for her.
You're Laura Hunt. Louise. Louise, for the last time, will you marry me?
I won't, but I saved some chicken livers for you.
Oh, you're an angel. Say, in the meantime, darling, you think you could get this spot out for me? I can afford a blemish on my character, but not on my clothes. Could need another mouthful.
I'm afraid it's rouge.
I'm afraid it's liquor.
Oh, may I have a glass of milk from Mr. Lydecker?
Of course, Miss Hunt.
I forgot to tell you. Wait just a minute.
Thanks, Louise.
What does what feel like, Miss Hunt?
Living on the income from an estate.
10 years ago.
Why maintain the fiction? Why not work?
Believe it or not, I asked one of my many friends for a job once, but he just laughed. He thought I was joking.
Weren't you?
Oh, here you are. Laura, dear. I sensed a situation which could bear watching.
Laura.
Yes, Laura?
I'm closer to despising you than I thought I ever would be. I'm sorry. I should have told you before. Shelby and I are going to be married next week.
For you, Laura. I couldn't find out if she's so competent.
Laura Hunt had been buying her liquor from you. Who killed Laura Hunt?
You cops wouldn't know about that. You ain't gonna tell the newspaper and drag her name through the mud?
I remember when Laura bought these glasses. She loved them. He was a friend of Laura's.
I will lend them to Laura, you know.
They aren't yours. She gave them to Laura.
I object to you prying into Laura's letters. Have you ever dreamed of Laura as your wife?
You are Laura Hunt, aren't you?
It wasn't Laura Hunt.
This is Laura.
I gave it to Laura for protection.
You took that poor girl to Miss Hunt's apartment. You knew all along it was she who was murdered. Didn't you know Laura Hunt would come back any day and spill the whole thing?
Laura kept a duplicate key at her office. We went to Laura's. But knowing Laura as I've known her, I've learned to be surprised at nothing. Anybody that knew Laura would have believed that. I could hear Diane's mules. Laura's they were. I was afraid, not only for myself, but for Laura. I felt that I must keep out of this, to keep Laura out of it.
Did you think Laura had done it? Laura was dead. You seemed sincerely shocked.
I was groping for some way to keep Laura's name out of it. I was heartbroken about Diane and panic-stricken about Laura.
What did you and Laura talk about tonight? Why don't you tell the truth, Carpenter? Redfern was in love with Carpenter. You admitted that last night.
I also told you that he wasn't in love with her.
Have you thought over the deal I suggested?
Yeah?
How does he feel now? Don't answer him, Laura. Look at him, Laura. He's beginning to crack up. He'd use anything to make an arrest just so he can be a big shot.
What does Laura's resurrection do to you? Do your duty, McPherson. You better order some liquor and some food, Laura.
Now, if you'll forgive me, Laura wants a cocktail.
You know it's all over between you and Laura.
Laura needs me. Laura, you don't have to lie to me, darling. I'll stand by you.
What's the matter, Laura? McPherson suspects Shelby. I'm not a nice person, Laura, neither is he.
Laura, I told you to watch out for this fella.
Good night. I'll see you tomorrow.
Good night, Mark.
I'm going over to Lydecker's apartment.
It still doesn't make sense to me, Laura. Laura, you have one tragic weakness. Laura. It makes him bitter, Laura. We'll be back together again. Haven't you heard of science's newest triumph, the doorbell? It's the same obvious pattern, Laura.
First it was Jacoby, then Shelby, and now I
Laura,
suppose... I don't think we should see each other again.
I can understand that, Laura.
That's the way it is, isn't it, Laura?
Laura!
There he is now.
Laura!
Find us together, Laura.
Goodbye, Laura.